It's going down like this, motherfucker.
This shit is crazy. The following
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was horn. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bar, bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy, yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left a light in this bitch. I'm finna hit the shop in this.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with Herman, man.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with Herman, man.
Well, gotta get a piece of my
Joe Beef. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
You don't understand. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling.
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
Plus, I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a I think very deeply.
up yours, nigger.
Dance with me. Dance with me.
You're a philosopher?
Dance with me.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama, and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Dad.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
Get your hands off of me, shit!
The Chinese platform, you already know. The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. And then
I think we OD'd. I think we OD'd. I think we OD'd.
My word, can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. That's the difference when you're mine.
Used to snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah.
Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loot juice, it pulls up in the. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loot juice, it pulls up in the deuce. I hit.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode, because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Do that dance, baby, do that dance, let's work it out.
Nigga. Lean.
To the east. Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only Galactic Daddy-O, welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe.
Well. What did I tell y'all? I never wavered. I told y'all this was all about 1997 and to settle who was the best in 97. I didn't care what other two they picked after they pushed away Florida State. I called it. I said, I called this one. This one as well. This was about 1997. That's why I knew they was gonna beat that Washington was gonna beat Texas, and I knew Michigan was gonna beat Alabama. I didn't waver. And the way they beat them, come on now. You saw my what? Do? You know, I mean, come on. I guess they can't get me for putting my own stuff on here. Man, get that shit out of here. Let's see it. And then I'll bring up one of my other points. But I called this one. I mean, this dude did this against Ohio State. Where we at? All right. He did this against Ohio State. I guess people forgot that he did this same thing against Ohio State. Ooh, Let's kill the music. All right, here we go. Look. Run away from everybody. Run away from everybody. That was a TV tackle. But I mean, the physicality, and another angle of it. Here's another angle of it. The physicality, though. Watch the TV tackle. Hey, let's dive. Why are you diving? Why are you diving? Again, though, the physicality was just, it's going to be hard for them. It's going to take a couple years for them teams from California before they really can, or from the West, from the Pac-10. They got to get beefier on the offensive line. Again, the one thing I'm going to say about scheme-wise, they out-schemed them all day, but they did not blitz them. This was one of the best defensive jobs. Offense, I'm going to tell you what my problem with was offense. Okay, you've been averaging, 8 yards a carry, and you got 4th and 3. That's where we saw, when it was 4th and 3 and they threw a pass, and not only did they throw a pass, Washington backed up like they knew what the play was. Like there was no run consideration. It was 4th and 3. That was a play I looked at as like, oh, that was bogus. How you gonna throw? How are you gonna throw on 4th and 3? You averaging 8 yards per carry, and they ain't figured you out yet. You done busted. You two runners damn near had 100 yards each in the first half, and you passed the ball. But just the way the defense responded, it was like watching a 7-on-7. That's what I was like. Oh, that's some bullshit right there. That was some bullshit. The biggest thing that should be, and maybe we got to go to highlights for this. Let's see if we can find the highlights. Because one thing that has to be said is the holding. The holding was atrocious. The holding by Michigan in the first half was atrocious. I mean, that's all I got to say. Michigan was allowed to hold the whole game, and it was never called. Let me see. Because they showed, let me see if I can catch the first down with that tight end. It showed it clearly. That tight end caught if I can catch him, let me see, not this. Is this giving me more? Let me see.
A new Planet Fitness is now open near you, and you can join.
Because that one where, remember in the second half where number 18, remember the series before, number 6 maybe dropped it. He dropped it for Michigan. Remember on both sides, they dropped it in the fourth quarter. Both sides dropped passes. And then Michigan came back and they got that first down. Let me see if I can get to that first down. Because that first down was a big play. I don't know if it's going to be in here, but that first down that number 18 caught, that play, that was a big play. But when they showed the replay, it clearly showed the lineman holding the dude jersey right in front of the ref. Like the whole game, if you paid attention, they held and they never called it. The one they called against Washington was so bogus. That was bogus. It was like you knew Washington didn't have a chance. So this ain't even the whole game. Oh, this is halftime. This is the second half. Let's see. Oh, it's full game. Let me see if I can find the first down. Let me see if they show that. Because that's it. No. Oh, and why didn't number 0 get the MVP on defense? He ran that ball back 80 yards. Let me see. Is this it here? I think it's a little further down. Where was 18? That's the one I want to see is number 18. But the way they schemed them all night, scheming, not blitzing them, that surprised them. They didn't blitz. They played straight up, man. It was like, man, 25 was the only linebacker in there. Let me see if I can catch one of these plays where they show this holding. Let me see if this will give me this holding. Because they terribly held all game and it wasn't called. DBs and everybody was allowed to hold. This ain't it. Okay, it's after this. It's after this. Let's see if I can get this shot here. Yeah, this dude dropped it. Again, they said a widely, rarely used receiver. They put him in there at a crucial time, and he drops it when they got a chance. And we saw that, in the game the other day. In the pro game, we saw the same thing. The guy dropped the ball. The quarterback threw it behind him. So it's funny how the same things are called again. Here we go. Oh man, kick me out. Kick me back. Where is this? Kick me back. What I was looking for. Because I was at it. I found it and then I loused it. But it was just, this is it. I think this is it right here. Yeah, this is it. Okay, let's see if I can get this. If this is it. I think it's... Okay, might be after this. It's gonna take me a minute, but it clearly shows holding. I think this is it. Yeah, this is the play. Let's see if I can catch it back. See, just a couple clicks. Okay, I know where to stop it at this time. All right. All right. Now, this is the play right here. Watch him. He holds, and I know it's going to flash, but watch him holding this dude right there. He holds terribly, and I know it's going to be pretty fast. Let me see if I can. Watch. Look. Okay, he's beat right now. You see how he's beat up here? Look how he's beat. And the way the other shot was, they had a shot where this dude right here went across his face. You see what I'm saying? They had a shot from back that clearly showed, but he's beat. And look at what he does. Look, right there, he's holding. Look at him. You tell me he don't see all that holding he did? You telling me? So this was in the bag for Michigan. When this right here wasn't called, that wasn't called. And the weak holding they called on them, that was a weak call. That call was so weak, they're holding. Let me see, is this it? Yeah, it's right here. That call was really weak. That call was weak compared to what? Let me see, I think it's this. Let's run it. I think it's this. Watch this. Look at this. That was nothing. That was nothing. That's what they called it on him. And what I just showed you, he was back there what I just showed you too. And that's what they called. They called that play back because of him. And when they showed the other angle, he didn't do nothing. See if we can catch that again. But so I want to get all this Michigan stuff out before I forget. Okay, so that was the main thing. Holding, I'm going to tell you when I was worried. When Harbaugh came out the second half and he didn't change sweaters, I was kind of worried because that's what he did in the Rose Bowl. He changed sweaters, but it was all in the but to not blitz them and only blitz them a few times. I know and they was letting late hits go on Penrix too. I'll say that. They let a couple late hits, especially at the end of the game, that should have been called. Because he was damn near wearing a flak jacket. That's what that looked like. He was wearing like a small flak jacket, so he was quite injured. But it should have been. That should have been called. That holding on them was nothing. Yeah, but I talked about that already. Oh, but you notice they kept highlighting Team 144. They highlighted that Team 144. They did highlight that. Yeah, but they didn't blitz the whole game, and they only rushed 4. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, there's some bells I put. Let me see. Okay, code. Yeah. Oh, and at the end of the game, they did mention the 97. They mentioned the 97. It was a coach's poll, or AP, and the coaches might have did Washington because they didn't like, but the way I think it's Gary Mueller got the job, and the other ones voted voted Michigan in. So they was co-champions that year. So this is what that was about. And I figured that out a long time ago. Even before, when Alabama was way back there and people thought it was impossible to Alabama, that Alabama would ruin their fun. So, all right. Let me see. It was about, what did he say? It was about the 91 championship rematch. Washington beat Michigan in 91 national championship by 34-14, and Michigan just beat them 34-13. Wow. That is a good one. I appreciate that. Wow. Okay. 91. Michigan didn't win the championship. Oh, got beat. Michigan got beat. Washington won in 91. Okay. And then they beat them. Wow. 91? Oh, okay. I don't remember that team. Okay. But I think 97 too. I think 97. It was definitely rigged. Yeah, that holding not called in the second half, and Michigan's they were more physical too. You have to admit they were more physical. That number 7 took a beating and he was hurt. They didn't take him out till the end of the game. That made no sense. Like, he's your best chance, and he took a beating. He took some shots. I was like, man, why are they letting him? He's supposed to be hurt. But Michigan was more physical. Michigan was even more physical than Alabama, and Alabama didn't anticipate that. And they didn't do that 4th and 3. That was them point shaving. That was them like, okay, we kicking their ass. We don't want everybody to tune away from it. So we better kind of keep some bullshit in here. So yeah, definitely fixed. But they did make a mention of 97. And again, it is those two teams too. And that was the last time they was co-champions. And to me, I think they're looking at, they and then they applied it tonight too. They applied it, and this was the champion. But PJ Allen, what's happening? Thank you for joining. Dr. Sinister, what's happening? CWE, what's happening? Liquid Fire, how are you doing? Thank you, please, for joining me. Yeah, it was very rigged. What's up? National championship. I thank you for that though. What's up? Hey, Calvin Dickerson, thank you for joining me. Go Blue. The defense had a confused. Yeah, they did. They did have him confused. But that's, to me, I saw that matching up. And I see what you're saying about in 91 too. That would have been, God, who was coaching in 91? Wow, who was Michigan's coach in 91? But they did mention 97 afterwards. They did mention that. And I, and I guess, they've matched up before, but that too. That was matching up too. And this 24 was funny when I caught the pictures. I tried to make this video now. I couldn't get it right. Did y'all see dude do this? Did y'all see the coach do this shit? Did y'all watch long enough to see him do that? And then they was like, pull the curtain down. That's what his daddy said. Pull the curtain down on him. If y'all didn't catch that, that's what his daddy was saying. Pull the curtain down on him. But, physically wise, I mean, they was just blowing these dudes, They was just blowing these dudes out the water. And really early, Michigan missed some tackles, which they easily should have got. And even like the first time, I'm going to even say this with the quarterback. The first time he got sacked, if he would have ran to his right, there was nobody over there. The first time the quarterback for Michigan got sacked, maybe that was the only time, he actually could have ran to his right. It was nobody to his right. Like, he didn't even need to step up. So he didn't even try to scramble. He just stayed there and let him sack him. So that was like some tails too. That was definitely some tails. But yeah, so, we made some money. Yeah. Oh, both sides. Yeah, both sides. I was surprised they didn't put that brother out at the end for targeting, and the TV kind of saved him. But it was like, and Washington, UCLA, USC, all gonna be in the Big Ten. And until they get them big linemen, I mean, this dude was just like clowning them. He was just clowning them. Like, look at this physicality. Like all them, they was fooling them like this all day. Just counters, just simple little counter plays. It looked like that point they kind of gave up. But just simple little counter plays. They went for it the whole game. And it was like, dude would just, like early in the game, the ones I showed, dude just like, they would just hesitate. I mean, like who couldn't do, this is like, let's see if I can catch this. But like me in a wheelchair could have ran some of these hoes. And this was so cool is, think about this play right here. He shifted back into the I, or the pro. He shifted back into the I. He was pro set and he shifted back into this position. And just, look, just a little bit of jab step, like where's my blocking? Where is it at? And look how quick he hits it. Run to daylight. Okay. Who can outrun who? I don't know. I thought he could have caught him. But look, he don't even realize he running by everybody. So. And you saw the Cartiers at the end. You saw, but it is, we get to where this, it's about time for him. And Harbaugh, now I think they just re-signed him, if I'm not mistaken. They just, or right now they're setting up, because he got a big bonus for this. But one cool thing about Harbaugh, some of his offensive assistant that coached while he was gone, I think he's one of the top assistants. And when his coach, his offensive assistant coached, he got paid head coach pay for them 2 games. So he basically got his guy a bonus for the 2 games the coach was suspended. So as you know, Harbaugh get raises, he raises guys. But you know what they like to do? They start wanting to pinch your guys. Because that offensive coordinator, and the defensive coordinator, I'll say the defensive coordinator, his job was outstanding because they was expecting to be heavily blitzed. That's why they was putting them screens in there, but their real scheme was to put them screens in there because they getting blitzed. But when they recognized they wasn't getting blitzed, they was making them left and right, receiver screen, tight end come down. That was the way they tried to attack it, because they really didn't know what else to do. If you looked at what they were anticipating being heavily blitzed, and they wasn't blitzed. They wasn't even, think about this. You're anticipating and scheming to be blitzed. They wasn't even lining up for blitzes most of the time. Not in the first half especially. They was playing just straight everybody back. It's like we giving up everything underneath. And a few times you can see where they scripted the DB didn't run, like the one they called the holding on. They called that back. But so that was a pretty good script. But to kill them on counters, that's killing them on counters all day. Just killing them on the same play over and over again. Even this. Let me see. But okay, even this look right here. And are we still in? Yeah, are we okay? We're in the first quarter. Okay. So this is the worst. This is the heaviest they showed them in the first half. This is the heaviest they showed. They showed them, and this is the Alabama look, but they was bailing. Now, see, this is one of the rare times they blitz. This is one of the, look, oh, see, this is where the lineman fell back. This is, what did they call this? Oh, my goodness. This is the zone where the linemen, see, the linebackers blitz, the linemen stay back. You see that? Oh, what did they call it? This is from a few years ago. They ran this when they would do this. This is a pro kind of thing. You see this? The linemen stay back. They blitz these because 25 is the middle linebacker. Wow, I didn't even catch that. I forget what kind of zone this is called. But you see, they dropped. They dropped. But this wasn't the play I was trying to show. I'll tell you what, though. He spins that ball out. He throws that ball out like nothing. I am impressed. I hope he gets a chance. He's had a lot of injuries. Again, look what they're facing. They're heavy on this side. And this is what, this is why they was getting beat on the counters, the way they was coming here. Again, heavy over here. You see this big gap they left here? They was able to attack this all night easily. Look at this, easily. See? Oh, you know, I called my best friend about 7-8 times. We was like, man, they was attacking this stuff. All right, what you got to say? What is it? Potty, you know this was a 91 national championship rematch. Okay, I agree. But you've got to admit, also, you've got to admit, you got to throw the 97 co-champions in there too. And I didn't hear them do any references at the end of the game to the 91. They gave the reference to the 97. And that's what they did. So yeah, I don't disagree, and I'll say I agree with you with the point of 91, but I say this was a 97 thing because of co-champions and deciding who's the real champion. And with Washington going into the Big Ten or whatever they're going to call it when it changes, I think all this plays into it as well. People accepting Washington in a bigger conference. And that also goes into, you know, guys just don't understand business and don't understand sports entertainment when they're saying that football is being ruined because the guys are making money. And, you know, I've broken down, you know, too many times. I mean, all you got to do, really, look at any financial of in any NCAA tournament the last 5 years. The money's there. I mean, the finances you can go break down for yourself, just in basketball. And I've said this many times, just in basketball. And look at the amount of money they made, and it comes out to where each player should make $30 million. And 300, and I'm talking about all 300 people that participate in the finals. It came out to something like $30 million per player. And this is just simple math that you can do to see if the players wasn't getting screwed around. I mean, that's how much money they were making. That all 300 players that participated in the tournament should have got about $30 million. Instead, it went to the NCAA. So I don't want to hear that you think that it's destroying. No, it's enhanced college football. One guy just got accepted to play for his 7th year. They said they had 9 players tonight that played in their 6th year. So it's going to have the opposite effect. If a guy knows he can't go pro and make money, but he can stay in college for if they keep this 6-year thing, you can stay in college and keep making money. Why not? And if you think that college has been holier than thou, all I got to do is say, watch Horse Feathers, watch the copy of the Three Stooges, but watch Horse Feathers from the 20s or early 30s. It tells you the corruption even then, that they were paying athletes. So this is nothing new, and it's only fair because it's fair for the players. I know some of you out there in Wonderland that never participated really on any level and never really saw the way the entertainment is set up on a large scale. It's kind of hard for you. If the only side you ever been on is just being a fan, I guess it's kind of hard for you to picture that. You've never played sports your whole life. You know, not only they should make money, it ruins the young men. That's silly. But CWE, you know, we can agree to disagree. That's all. I say it's both. That's all I'm saying. Pendix, he has some receivers open, but did miss them. I'll stay until I feel like leaving. We're going to make that bread. 6 years. 9 players on Washington team had 6 years. One dude just got approved to play his 7th year. So that's going to be that's good. And again, if I know this is my 3 years, I ain't going to make it to the NFL. But I'm in this program where I'm getting a little light on me and I can make this bread right now. I can make this bread where this bread can last me the rest of my life. And I can still fuck with this education thing. I can meet all these people. Come on. It ain't a bad deal. I think it's enhanced. Now, what is going to have to be talked about is the way they're going to, you know, like we had, did y'all watch South Dakota State won FCS? Did y'all catch South Dakota State? They won, I think this is their 2nd year in a row. South Dakota State won FCS. So, and it got national televised. It got national televised attention. That game came on Saturday afternoon. It was nationally televised. So I didn't watch it. I was watching something else, or we left. I don't remember. But it was televised. So
this is going to be more enhanced. What is going to happen, they're going to have to set up another conference. I mean, it's no way to get around it. Mid-majors aren't going to be able to compete. And they're going to probably be absorbed in FCS is what I'm guessing. Now, one thing I think that would, because really I think it's a good idea when you bring 12 teams in, you have 6 games and they're all bowl games. I thought they should have done that a long time ago. Make the playoffs be the bowls. I mean, that makes too much sense. You already had the hype of the bowl games, and that makes a lot of sense that the bowls, are tournament games. I think, that's copied a little bit from basketball. So that's smart that they're doing that. But these other bowls, see, to me, that when they give significance to these other bowls, that's how they're going to make their money. When these smaller bowls become a tournament and not an exhibition. Because they're going to struggle. Long as those games is exhibition, dudes is going to want out, or it'd be like, how much for this game? I mean, that's what it's going to turn into. It's like, how much for this one game? That's the contracts that, to me, that's where it's going to turn to. Okay, if we play in this extra game, how much? That's why, to me, that make all the bowl games a tournament games. Whichever level you want to put them at, that's fine. But make all the bowls tournament games, and people will buy into it. I mean, they're buying into it now when, they're just exhibition. And, it's just a proud feather on your cap that your team went. Because what the Gophers went, they was 5-7. They won their game, so they end up 6-7. So, there's no meaning to it other than an exhibition game. There's no meaning to it other than an exhibition game. So, yeah. But, CW, I'm glad you brought that up. It is both. And I think both have to be considered. Harbaugh playing for Bo Schembechler, and Bo Schembechler was always denied. He never won a championship. And it was kind of a slap in the face to Bo because, again, in 97, Mueller, got it. So yeah, so Bo never got it. So I agree. The bowl games, the tournament games. Yeah, the bowl games, I'd stay like I felt out. Yeah, the bowl games, yeah, it'll make more excitement. And not just these big tournaments, make every bowl a tournament game, and people would love it because they love it already. So it's not hard for them to change it into something. Well, I'm just drinking water. I didn't drink, alcohol. I drank like 1 beer last night, maybe 1 beer. But if you smoke them, I'm edibled up. So I'll smoke with y'all. Sorry, I'm also edibled up. But it's fun. My friend, I didn't go over to his house, but we called at each other. That's the kind of nigga I am. Like my brother-in-law, he came over, and then my wife's aunt, she came over, so we all watching it. But like even my brother-in-law ain't here. He's a Dallas fan, so I'm fucking with him. All game, I'm fucking with people. So my best friend, we calling each other back and forth, cause he went to Michigan, so he was hyped. Ha. So that was fun. That was fun. Get the gear now. There was some nice Nike hats. And did you notice this? Let me see how to get it. This is in okay. Like the way the new Nike is completely different. Like in here, it's all completely different. Like I think this is 2 seasons ago, maybe, but the new stuff they wore tonight is the new stuff for next year. It's different in here because I remember it was the same stuff I saw when Deion. They showed them jerseys when they were showing Deion the new this kind of stuff, and so I could see the difference, and that's what Michigan wore, where this is metallicized. So those jerseys are gonna be out there too. And the Michigan helmet, I don't care what anybody says. These helmets right here, they said that they painted them like that so he could see the receivers. I don't believe that because, and I don't know if I can find one. I'll have to look some other time because I ain't gonna be hunting for helmets. But I saw old leather helmets made like that. Now, could they have been Michigan helmets? I mean, these was helmets.
Like, I think when my cousin played, my cousin was probably in junior high in the late 60s, like ninth grade in the late 60s, maybe like 69, ninth grade. But I think he played, or some, if it wasn't him, some of his teammates had them leather helmets with face masks. And then even when I was in 8th grade and when I was in 1st and 7th grade, I saw some players on the 8th grade. And if the coach didn't like you, he made you wear a leather helmet in the game. And I was in the junior high in 74, 75, 76. Yeah. And one dude, they did him so bogus. They just gave him a leather helmet with no face mask. They sent him to practice with a leather helmet with no face mask. I felt so bad. They didn't even give him shoulder pads, just gave him some pants. I was like, wow. Why hate? He came out, why hate on him? And that's what it used to be too. It would be favoritism like a mug. It used to be bad favoritism, and that's one sad part of sports. It'd be favoritism, and that seems to run no way to get around it. Oh, okay. Turn that off. I don't know what the fuck that was. So it was cool to see him. Harbaugh is going to be in an interesting position because there's going to be a lot more bread thrown at him. But people forget he's been there for 9 years already. He's had 2 full classes, and look what he's done with 2 full classes. Dominated Ohio State for the last 3 years. Lost in the national semifinals last year. His best player, one of his best backs, didn't play. And then this year he wins it. So now, is the NCAA going to keep coming after him? That definitely has to be a consideration if they're going to keep coming after him, because that's what some people are saying, what might drive him to San Diego. I don't know if I would want that job. I don't know if I would really want San Diego. I think it would be a better position than San Diego. And, let me say this about Shannon Sharpe saying about Jameis Winston. The team is, the coach definitely, the coach lost. The players did what they wanted to do. Jameis Winston make more money than that coach. He's richer than that coach. So he stood there and he did he wince? Did he look down? Did he shift? Did he do a gross body movement? Didn't he look at them cameramen and answer their questions like a G? We got in a huddle. I talked to my guys. Everybody said this dude deserved a touchdown. It ain't gonna make a difference. The coach from Atlanta was getting fired regardless. It ain't like when they scored that touchdown for Atlanta, the coach got mad. Coach was getting fired regardless. Regardless if they scored that touchdown or not, the coach was getting fired. So, you saw a man act like a man, and you saw, just like we saw Shannon cooning. Shannon was cooning. You saw Shannon Sharpe cooning for the man. Dragging the brother, defending the ownership. Shannon Sharpe defended ownership. There's no other way you can look at it. He defended ownership. You would think him being an ex-player, he understood. Whatever reason they thought, and maybe that guy, if he got it, hey, we saw all kind of bonuses. We saw Jones get 1.75 or 1 point something bonus for his sacks. We saw Clowney get a bonus for his sack. How don't we know if that guy got a touchdown, he would get a bonus? We don't know that. And if the players know that, and they in that position, because they know the kind of incentives be in them contracts. So the Players Association is, but Shannon Sharpe is bogus. Shannon Sharpe used to be in the Players Association. And to take the side of, I don't understand why he would take the side of the owners, of the coach. Why are you defending that coach? It's obvious what was up. The players wanted that man to do that. And the players is the entertainers on the field. So that's what the entertainers wanted. That's what happened. Now, could they be mad about the overs and unders? Yes, definitely. The gamblers probably wasn't happy with that. But on the other hand, the gamblers, if it was some kind of incentive, they would have known it too. And they could have been the one to push that. We can't say that's out of the realm of possibility too. The gamblers done talk to him and say, hey, we need another touchdown, but make it look like, and y'all make this controversy. That could very well be true too. So don't think that scenario is out of hand, because that's very possible as well. So we're gonna look at every way. But I don't understand Shannon Sharp's attitude at all. That's like, you speaking up for the boss. But again, he had to find a way where people wouldn't like him. You dig? That's kind of like when they mesmerized you, they told you that they got to find a way some point. I guess that's the best. They got to find some point to make people not like you, make you controversial. Okay. So that's all he was doing. He had to take the ownerships. You could tell he practiced really well too. You could tell when they had to practice all night to be mad. He had to sit on the mirror, sit in front of the mirror. Like the dude, John Majors in the movie where he played that Korean War veteran. He wrote a name. If you look at the book, he wrote a name of all the people and all the names they ever called him. So to psych himself up before a battle, he'd sit in the mirror and just tell himself all the names that he had ever wrote down that they called him, the different variations of the way they called him nigga. So that's what you heard. That's what you was hearing. Different variations of practice mad. Practice be on the coach's side. Defend the coach. What is the rule of brotherhood? You don't never attack another man's bread. You don't ever attack another man's bread. And that's exactly what he just did. He attacked another man's bread. Which, the contracts is what the contracts is. Jameson Winston has made enough money to be happy. He's made enough money to be happy. So, you think, did he sit there and, he didn't. Again, Shannon Sharp, went back into his place. He became a stooge again. And see, that's what y'all don't understand. You mesmerized by him one day, and the next day they in a role. They become the Three Stooges the next day. Do you see how quick they snap it on y'all? You guys get mesmerized, and then boom, they snap this on you. Well, we just liked him the other day, and all of a sudden, So you can't take him serious. You can't take none of this serious. It's all entertainment. It's all acting. It's not real emotion. It's motion, fake emotion, because that's what they get paid to do. I mean, that fake emotion come from, one dude was trying to say Stuart Scott was the one that put in fake emotion, and I disagree. It's more Stephen A. Smith. They was trying to say Stuart Scott was the one that put that fake emotion in. No, it was Smith. Smith's always been the best as that, and that's what you had. You had Sharp's version of Stephen A. Smith. How Stephen A. Smith dogs brothers, this is what you just saw. So, and you would think, after his big thing that he had before, that he would just sit back in glory. No, you can't be off. You cannot be off. You always got to be on. So, and just that quickly. I thought he was on our side. Man, he's not on our side. He is not on our side. But man, it's been a lovely, great day. I enjoyed it. It was a good hoop game, man. The Heat beat the shit out of the Suns. Did y'all see that? Not the Heat. Excuse me. The Suns got beat by the Clippers by damn near 30. Harding had 9 assists? Yeah, too much Kawhi, too much George. And then they applied, and this is what didn't make sense. They went 3 guards. They had, what's his name? Bradley Beal, Booker, and who was the other guard? Harding. No. I'm trying to think for Booker, Beal, and they had one more guard. And I was like, and then they was small. I was like, wow. Like, it was like mismatches like a mug. I guess they had some people hurt. Because I caught the game. I turned from the football game. I caught that game like mid third quarter, I think. I think that game was mid third quarter after the football game. But I'm still going to try to do this video again to see where this bug does like this. He does like this. So I got to see if I can release that.
I don't even know if I took a picture of that shit. I ain't bring that. Let me see. And you see that, Michigan got them Cartiers. The Cartier thing is Michigan got them Cartiers. Oh, it's all the way back. I might have to make this a video, but I don't know. Let's see if I can catch him in the. And then I'll put this out tomorrow. But it was trip. And then my wife's aunt was waiting for them to give the trophy, and I started recording and rewinding. I'm not, Then when she was leaving, she saw him get it. I just want to see the trophy. I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm trying to make a video. But you see, they threw them Cartier, that Michigan style. No, this must be. It's got to be it. I got to go through it. So, man, it was a good, smooth day, though. Just to see a national. And this is a great time of year for sports. I mean, it really is. Like, you get to see the end. What's bogus, though, keep in mind, today, if you don't have ESPN, you couldn't watch the game. Remember that. It's the college championships, basketball and football, you have to pay to watch, or at least have a service. They do not give you their championship games for free. Now, even think about the March Madness. A lot of them games, if you don't have True TV, you're not seeing every game. You got to have all that. And True is, most packages had that too. So, but that's what they do. And then their championship games, you absolutely have to have ESPN. Now, I don't know if people would ever go for the Super Bowl, but already, I mean, it wasn't always like that. The national championships wasn't always like that. But I think, going back into Vince McMahon or Vince Young, Reggie Bush championship. I think it's been on cable that long, and that was almost 20 years ago. So they've done it a long time ago, and people don't seem to complain. So, but one day, it's not inconceivable to think that they might put the Super Bowl on. You pay extra. So hopefully, but. And so now, we're going to rev up for a big, big ritual now. Got this ritual over. And we're going to just rev up to another ritual. With the next Monday, it's the Eagles. The Eagles are playing. And they only fired the two coaches. Black Monday. Isn't that funny, the Black Monday? They got rid of Ron Rivera, and that's a good picture to show him with the mask. How stupid. And he could be mad all he wanted. He knew he was getting fired. So, after 3 seasons with the struggle at the end of the year leading to decisions, they got rid of him. But I was surprised nobody else has been fired. Breaking news, and this is bogus that they just, how many other jobs do they just plaster all over the world that you got fired? You got to have a strong will to be an NFL coach where they just, the children's like, your daddy got fired. Your daddy wasn't no good coach. He got fired. Y'all moving. And that's all too true. All too true. Because I remember Zimmer, when Zimmer's house, they was put for sale, and he had a nice crib here out in Edina. But hey, when it was time to go, it was time to go. Okay, so now we got the UFL. So the new league, if y'all didn't know, the leagues combined. The XFL and the USFXL have combined. The United States Football League was also first player held on January 5th. Initial rosters, the new spring league, there's a merger between this and this has become United Football League. Players that were not protected, initial process replacing a pool of players. The first phase of players, multiple all USFL selections of several former players who landed. Notable players was Vic Beasley of the Renegades, Reuben Foster of the Roughnecks, Gary Coleman of the Panthers, and DJ Swearinger of the Defenders. Two former U.S. players, Kay Vante Turbin and Brandon Aubrey, have gone to earn Pro Bowl honors and as well as members of the Cowboys. Outstanding. Here's a sampling of the roster. So Beasley, Burnett, I don't know what these names, Mark King. Okay, I know Jamar Smith. Yeah, Jamar Smith, Victor Bolden, Deion King, Mari Rogers, Jay Stieber, Channing, don't know any of these guys. Abram Smith, Michael Joseph, Garmin, Swearinger. So Roughnecks, Memphis Showboats. If y'all know any of these names, Case Kukas, don't know him. Michigan Panthers kept a team. That's good. I had a couple of my teammates played on the original USFL Michigan Panthers before they moved out to California. St. Louis Battlehawks. So I don't know. That's coming up in a couple weeks too. So, hey Lorenzo, what's happening? I am late, but Michigan won that first title since '97. The aftermath, what we're going to have to keep an eye on is how we're going to do a Pete Carroll. Exactly. And CWE says this was more ritual to the 91 loss of Michigan to Washington, a rematch. But I think it's both. But I think highly in the 97. What do you think about that? Michigan losing to Washington in 91. That's what CWE brought up. So I agree that it's probably both. Okay, that was yesterday. I was trying to see because they be knocking these mugs out. Oh, so good. So far, they ain't killed nobody today. It ain't over though. Just chilling at the next episode. Yeah, that's true too. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like Belichick might go this week. What does it say? NFL says come to conclusion. Certain as for sure. We know 2 coaches going for sure. But Belichick, what are they saying on Belichick? Are going to have to wait at least another day before a decision on Belichick's future. But the fans should not expect an announcement on the future on Monday. Said they could have serious meeting with Kraft about the future of the club. Okay. Dennis Allen is expected to be back. This is surprising. Now, this is Jameson Winston's coach, and after what we saw, this is what they say. Dennis Allen concluded his second season as Saints head coach with a record of 9-8, just missing out on a postseason berth. Despite rumblings that his job could be at risk, New Orleans coach said on Monday that his expectation is to be back with the club. 50-50 on Grable. So he might get fired. Rob Gronkowski thinks Patriots will keep the Belichick, which wouldn't surprise me. Falcons are team to watch for Belichick. Wow. Vrabel interested in owning going back to the Patriots. Mark Imbus to meet with Bears ownership. Let me see. Commanders. Yeah, we knew that. Says there might be a series of meetings. They fire Smith. A few would be surprised, and then they met with Kraft. So they call this Black Monday for coaches. Your daddy got fired, talking shit, getting fights and shit. Hey, my dad. Well, your dad did. They fired the shit out of him. And why are they being so secretive about this cat being in jail? Our secretary are in the hospital. The Secretary of State is in the hospital, and they act like ain't nobody else in the position. What about the deputy Secretary of State? They're not told what his quiet hospitalization. And we've been around for a while. I don't know that this has ever happened before. His incident is further of the trust in the Biden. Austin is facing fierce pushback from conservative lawmakers over the quiet hospitalization this week. And, what's his physical position? Can he do the job? So he's been missing for a week, and nobody, including his boss, has a clue to where he might be. He has performed poorly, they say. and has been dismissed along with for many reasons, but in particular, because you can't blame all that Pakistan on him. Executive medical procedure, elective medical procedure, and days later experienced severe pain while at home. Wow. So wonder if they took him out, because, you know, they not beyond taking the mug out. Don't forget that. They will take somebody out, but we don't know. Oh my goodness. Did y'all catch this about China? Where China, man, their corruption is so bad. Their corruption is so that this again could be propaganda, but this could be propaganda. But their corruption is so bad that they say some of the missiles had water in them. Like they ain't even filling their missiles up and stuff. Purge of several top officers came after embarrassing mishap where they mistakenly filled missiles with water instead of fuel, according to the intelligence. Who warned that all Chinese on both sides will be united. He's trying to say that, but he's got this kind of stuff going on. Overseeing tactical and nuclear missiles. Catalyst claim military corruption led to the mistakes. And that's, you know, that's the problem when you have a dictator. Dictators, you know, that kind of goes with corruption. So these people ain't trying to, you know, not make your junk. Keep that in mind. Why would they go into war and when they could make money making your junk? So this is all propaganda. This is all propaganda. Wow. Big explosion in downtown Fort Worth. Injures 21. Damn. Wow. Explosion in downtown Fort Worth leaves 21 injured. That happened this morning? According to in a hotel. Wow. Huh. I don't know if this is a story or not. Oh, this is CNN. Explosion in so somewhere in Fort Worth, building exploded, hotel exploded. CNN explosion in Fort Worth left 24 people injured. Large pieces of building, literally in the heart of the downtown. At least 21 people were injured in a blast. Wow. Some officials believe the blast was caused by some type of gas explosion. They're still working to verify the cause. He said investigators are working to determine what caused the incident. Wow. So they don't know. Okay. Well, wow. That's messed up. That is messed up. They end the bowl. Let me see. Michigan ends both eras of college football by winning the Natty in '97 before the BCS era, and in 1926 won the Natty before the 12-team playoff era in '26. They didn't win it with what was his name? That won the Heisman, number 98. Can't think of his name, but I thought when they played, they won it too. Because they won it in '26. That was who built the field, that coach. And I thought that second coach won a national championship too, but I can't think of his name. What's the Heisman Trophy winner? The first Heisman Trophy winner in Michigan. That cat. I can picture his face. Can't think of his name. The Pope calls surrogate motherhood deplorable. Well, they want to carry the baby. Oh, you meant 23. Okay, 23. What was his name? The dude, man, what was his name? Michigan's first Heisman winner. I can't think of his name. Oh, and y'all see the plane, the door blew off, and people was in the plane and the door blew off. I don't know. I'm kind of like Sly. I don't know about flying. Sometime that shit. Now, I'm going to tell you, if the thing that would, they won with Woodson in '97. Yeah, but he wasn't the first one. Tom Henson. I think his name was Tom Henson. What was his name? Tom Henson. Hey Siri, who won Michigan's first Heisman Trophy? Not no damn Mike Garrett, Michigan. That's stupid looking. Wasn't no Charles Woodson. It was the dude, Tom Henson is his name. Tom, oh, here he is. I see it. Okay, get out of here. Tom Harmon. Tom Harmon won it. Tom Harmon won the Heisman. I thought they won it when he was when he played with him. But yeah, Tom Harmon was the first one to win the Heisman for Michigan. Was Tom? He wore number 98. Tom Harmon. Yeah, I thought those teams won it too, but I know that first coach won it. But you know, Michigan, like Michigan football, like my high school, Kalamazoo Central and Battle Creek Central, they played like our rivalry in football literally goes back to the 1880s. It's like 1890 something. They drove horse and buggies over from one place to the other. Can you imagine that? I bet it took a couple hours. Like it generally would take in a car to go from Paw Paw to Kalamazoo, maybe 40 minutes, depending on where you're at. It probably took hours on a horse and buggy. Can you imagine getting up early to get in a horse and buggy and ride the horse and buggy to the game for 2-3 hours and then go, play a game and go get and knowing you got to, probably having a big party and a dinner after the game and then having the 3 hours back on a horse thing. Just sitting there, trot, singing, heroic songs of the victory. I'm kind of glad I missed that. Man, football was so dirty. I was looking at the picture where a dude was punching a player with the no-face mask. He just tackling him and punching him at the same time. But yeah, Tom Harmon, he was the first one to win the Heisman in 1940. Before we were World War II was going on, but we weren't in World War II until almost the end of 41. That it was almost 42 by the time we joined. We was only in the war 42, 43, 44, 45. We wasn't in the war since the war went on like what? The war was going on what? 38, 37, 38, sometime in there. So we weren't involved in the war that long. So, yeah. I mean, when they won in 97, it was the end of the Bold Coalition era. That's a good point. It was the end of a Bold Coalition era. Yes, it was. I agree. Keke Palmer won an Academy Award. She won a Emmy. Oh, what did Keke Palmer win an Emmy for? The multi-talent snagged the Emmy for Outstanding Host for a Game Show on Password. Keke Palmer is on a Password, so that means they want to keep her going. Okay. They want to keep her going. Okay. I see. Oh, that's all that is. Oh my goodness. This was a good day though. Man, I didn't get up till about 11:30. I thought I was gonna have to help my mother. She had ate some bullshit and it gave her a little stomach ache, but she's like, I'm okay. You ain't gotta come. Okay. And we got a little bit of snow, but it wasn't much. It really wasn't much. We got about a half inch. It's really gonna get cold coming this weekend though. What? What is this crazy story? I didn't hear about this. Am I reading this right? Okay, so this is definitely kidnapped woman held captive in Texas rapper's garage for 5 years. Like he's this dude. Like, damn. What kind of hairdo is that? Like, he really didn't let his hip hop go. Man, you should have cut that mess off a long time ago. A Texas rapper was arrested after he allegedly kidnapped a pregnant woman off the street and held her captive in his garage in Houston for several years. So 10 years ago, or 756, was taken into custody at a local motel Thursday night and charged with aggravated kidnapping. He's being held. So the next day, police conducted a welfare check at Mr. Carter's home to investigate a tip that a woman might still be there. 9 months after initial. Inside, the police found a dog, an empty mattress, and a deadbolt that closed from inside, but the woman was nowhere to be found. Her whereabouts were still unknown. 9 months earlier, officers first responded to a kidnapping problem at the same home after a woman contacted them through Texas Now. They arrived to find the woman weighed about 70 pounds, looks extremely malnourished and filthy. Police also found a makeshift toilet did not work, a mattress covered with fresh vomit, a box of chips, and a few Twinkies. The woman told police that Mr. Carter abducted her 4 or 5 years ago. He approached her on the street while she had been pregnant and while she was panhandling and offered her $1. He then promised to help her, driving her back to his home where he instead locked her up in his garage where she forced to take drugs, have sex with him, rarely got a proper meal or shower. So It's not clear what happened when the woman's pregnancy, whether she gave birth. There's no mention of a child in the court documents. After the incident, police confirmed receiving calls in the past years. Wow, and they didn't help her. Wow, and they didn't help her. Wow, they kept going there and they didn't do enough work, and she was right there. That's sad. That is sad. That is really sad. So, in the wonderful world. Oh, wow. I didn't see this. The Washington Companion. Let me see this. What is this saying? Let me see what they tried to do here. Pops, let me see. Wow. Check this out. I didn't know you could do this because his coach got fired. The season's done, and they talking about Chiefs getting blocked from hiring Bellamy, Bellingham. The Commanders don't have any games left. The Commanders fired their head coach. There was some hope that they could add former Kansas City coordinator when Riviera was fired. The Chiefs needed an offensive spark. Struggled. Chiefs can make a splash for hiring him in the playoffs once he's been relieved of his offensive coordinator duties, which he has been. He misses. First, the Commanders would have to fire him, and if he move on from coach, then the Commanders could choose to hold on to his other staff members until the next coach decides whether to keep him. If that doesn't happen, is relieved of his duties, he'd be free. I didn't even know you could do that. The Commanders would have to play ball for the Chiefs to have opportunity to hire him. He's still required to handle his duties. What duties? The season is over. He has no more duties. He won't be relieved of duty anytime soon. Indicated that he has plans to keep the Commanders' assistant coaches on staff until the team hires a new coach. Why? Why would you need to do that? Commanders have every right to keep Behimini for the time being. He could wind up getting an interview for a head coaching vacancy. Okay. The Chiefs have to wait to the situation for a few days. Wow. So it's a possibility that they could get him. That's interesting. I didn't know they could do that. What'd you say? Despite the ongoing investigation and the possibility that Harbaugh's leaving, I'm happy Michigan winning the Natty. Me too, man. I'm very happy for him. I'm very happy. You know, I watched Bo Schembechler, that old era football at Michigan, just, getting these bowl games and not do it. Say he got the hairdo in honor of tribute to Coolio. That's pretty good. But yeah, I watched Bo Schembechler not get it, and he had that history with Woody Hayes in Ohio State. And it was sad every year they never could get it. And then Bo leaves, and like he said, like CWE said, they lose it in 91, which Bo wasn't there in 91. And then Mueller, they split it. It wasn't a clear decision. Because I think back then it was the coach's poll or it was in the writer's poll. So she won. Oh, that's why that chick was on there. She won. Okay. What does this say? 24 of the highest earning stars that are still alive. Wow. Or that died. Who cares? What kind of bread? Oh, here they dogging the Saints coach. They dogging him. Texas show. Let's see what these look like. See if I can get these unveiled. Oh, okay. This is the same thing I was trying to show y'all. See, Michigan wore their version tonight. So this is, I told you. But see, this ain't even, they didn't even make this matte shiny. They made it matte. But this in here, this is the new Nike. And Michigan was wearing this tonight, this type of jersey. See the bigger numbers. But if you see the cut in there, the way it's cut in there, that cut, I saw this when they were showing Deion. Because I think Deion's not Jordan. Deion is Nike too. And the pants, it's just the pants too. They had all this laid out, the new pants. So yeah, this is Michigan had their stuff on tonight. I'm telling you, this is what we saw tonight was Michigan 24 jerseys, and not to say they they can't modify them still, but they were definitely the newer stuff. Jaguars, Mike Caldwell and staff fired. Model Report said that the Jacksonville Jaguars have relieved second-year defensive coordinator Mike Hall and the majority of staff of duties. They fired the defensive staff. They fired the defensive people. Entire staff was relieved. Wow. So, Jaguars got rid of Mike Caldwell. They just put your business out there like, well, we got rid of his ass. They just, man, that's a cold business. Now, who is this? Who is she? Oh, okay. I did this on her. On these deaths, celebrity deaths. I already did it. Oh, man, this is debauchery. Man kills wife on New Year's Day and buried her body in Nashville. Like, really? You don't have anything else better to do than that's rough, y'all. That is rough. That's rough. That's debauchery 101. Ooh, love will fix it. I wasn't go on too long tonight, and I was bragging. I got a few. I ain't really got nothing to. That's why, I didn't mind coming on late, because I ain't really got nothing to do. And you know me, I can ramble all night long. We want to give it to you all night. And I like this time, And I like what Brother Sly and that one brother was saying, it's kind of interesting. Like what the dude was saying is they like panels. And if you look at panels, for the algorithm, it's like they want to put you in Hollywood squares. You dig? And it kind of like, if you got to put 10 mugs on there to get it, think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And, you want to fill this whole screen up with all these people, It's like Hollywood squares. It's definitely Hollywood squares. Saints ought to be ashamed of themselves for running the score to Falcons and getting a coach fired. He ain't fired yet. But he's definitely. They said today that they don't think they're gonna fire. I don't feel bad. I think the players, and just think if he got that bonus, is all he had to do is get a touchdown to get a bonus. Do you feel the same way? If all he needed was one touchdown this year to get a $200,000 bonus, and he came in the huddle and said, y'all, I need. They went to the coach and said, he need to get a bonus, and the coach said no. So the players will get you that bread. And I bet they don't be nothing done about it. They got their guy that bonus. He got his touchdown. He got his bread. I don't know how you feel any other way but for the player. And I ain't trying to tell anybody how to think, but look at the player's perspective. That's all. From the player's perspective, that's right on. Where is? Oh, there it is. I got another one. So I look at it from the player's perspective. They got their guy that bread, and that's it. Had to be over bread. He had to get a bonus to get a touchdown. Or at noon, he was going to retire. I mean, what if he's going to retire? In his last game, you got a chance for him to get a touchdown. Remember in the Super Bowl, Walter Payton didn't get a touchdown. That motherfucker was mad. They let the quarterback get a touchdown. They let the fridge get a touchdown. Walter Payton didn't get a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and he was pissed about it. So I'm for the players. I'm for the players, bro. I think, screw that coach. And then, that coach didn't really have the power and authority. And Winston, what are they going to do? Winston rich. Winston boneless. He got rich off his bonus. So when he came in the league. So he ain't hurting. And you know what? He ain't getting cut from the NFL because he's still a quality quarterback. And, Shannon Sharp talking about he had the same team as Brady. No, he didn't. He didn't. That's disingenuous. That was very disingenuous to say Jameson had it and Mayfield had the same. No, it's completely different teams. Completely different teams. Matter of fact, I even think completely different offensive coordinators. So it's not the same. It's not the same. Because didn't the coach get fired before Brady went down there and the new coach took over? But I think it's, it wasn't the same team Brady had. Well, same defense, most of the defense. But it wasn't that Brady was the spark. We know how they fixed games, and he knows how they fixed games. That's what, I don't understand. He knows how games are fixed and, you're going to play for the owners. That's bogus. I think that's bogus. That he's going to pipe the owners instead of the player. But again, what he just went through, he had to say something controversial to get people off him, to get people thinking, oh, we don't like him so much. Too many people are watching this show. So you need to say, wow, well, this is here. I got some debauchery. Since you put it like that, then salute to the players. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. If you don't like Winston, that ain't no thing to me. I ain't one way or another about the nigga, really. But I mean, I like the way he G'd up. He ain't punk out. But I guess this is debauchery, y'all. I guess it's got quick debauchery. Damn, it went quick. Okay, let's bring it back. Okay. I guess this happened here. Wow. Let him tell it.
Police say an active shooter opened fire at a hotel outside Duluth tonight.
At least 2 victims are dead, and so is the shooter. It happened in the city of Cloquet, just a couple of miles off of I-35. David Schumann is in the newsroom with the late-breaking details. David, what can you tell us?
Amelia, police warned the entire city to...
Hey, do y'all remember when he used to play Stewie on Mad TV? Remember, he used to play on Mad TV? Y'all remember that? With Ariel Spears, he used to be on Mad TV.
And locked their doors as they searched for this shooter. And then within the last 90 minutes, they lifted that shelter order. They say they found the shooter dead along with at least 2 other people. We're going to take you to the footage from the scene here. You can see dozens of squad cars, heavily armed officers, and ambulances set up outside the Super 8 there. Police said there were multiple victims, and an official with the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office told us 3 people are dead, including the shooter. We saw families, some of them carrying children, who were finally allowed to leave this parking lot tonight after hunkering down for a few hours. Again, police say the shooter is dead and they believe the threat is over. We're getting word that a press conference may happen soon where we could learn more about what exactly happened. Amelia?
Thank you, David. Of course, WCCO is keeping it.
Damn. 3 people. Woo, that's a lot of people to die. See if anything else on it. See what Fox said.
Thank you for joining us tonight for your 10 at 10 on Fox 9 and Fox Local. I'm Amy Hockert.
And I'm Kelsey Carlson. We continue to follow that breaking news out of northern Minnesota tonight. Law enforcement responding to an active shooter situation at a Super 8 motel in Cloquet.
That is about 20 miles south of Duluth. Randy Meyer in our live center now with the very latest. So, Randy, what have we heard?
Well, we jump back in the newsroom for some more details. Here's what I figured out. The shooting is deadly, as we pointed out earlier. In the last hour, we've confirmed 3 people are now dead. That does include the shooter. At least that's what police believe. Here's a look at the scene in the last hour. Still a heavy police presence outside that Super 8 motel near Big Lake Road and Highway 33, again in Cloquet. Situation started to unfold around 7 o'clock tonight. An active shooter alert went out because at the time the suspect was still at large. That entire area was on a lockdown. Residents were told to lock their doors, turn off their lights, and shelter in place. That has since been lifted. And in the last hour, Governor Tim Walz tweeting out a statement, and here it is. The governor saying, I am praying for those killed in another senseless act of gun violence. To the law enforcement officers who responded, thank you. We do have a crew en route, and we will bring you the very latest as soon as we get it. We'll also have the latest online on Fox.
All right. Wow, ain't shit up there, y'all. That motel might be all that's up there. Ain't shit up there. Oh, this is my brother-in-law. They declared, check this out.
Now open near
My
you.
brother-in-law was telling me about this. They declared this unconstitutional, but check this out now, what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring this shit back. They're trying to bring this shit back because they want to cry they ain't got enough officers. Check this out. This was unconstitutional here, but check it out.
Cameras is just 1 vote away from launching in Minneapolis. The city getting ready to start a pilot program as soon as the state legislature gives it its blessing.
Our Corn Hoggard is live in Minneapolis with the expected impact and the legal hurdles to remote camera enforcement in general. Corin?
Kelsey and Amy, the city's red light camera enforcement program was stopped by the state Supreme Court back in 2007, but now there's a legislative task force in place trying to figure out how to legally do speed camera enforcement. Its supporters say this is often a matter of life and death. A speeding driver crashed into a few cars Sunday near the end of a chase across the metro. Nobody died here, but each year between 2017 and 2021, an average of 150 people died or suffered very serious injuries in crashes in Minneapolis alone. The city will host an open house later this month to discuss how it could use cameras to enforce speed limits near schools and in highway work zones. They still need approval from the legislature, but Representative Aaron Cagle already helped create a task force studying how to make camera enforcement work.
So I think this is just another progression in trying to make sure that our workers are safe out there.
The Federal Highway Administration says speed cameras can cut injury crashes almost in half on busy streets. But opponents warn it's government overreach and leads to more of a robotic police state.
This feels like it's because Minneapolis doesn't even have enough police officers to police their own city, that now they're trying to turn it over to AI and cameras.
The Legislative Task Force is examining how to overcome any constitutional challenge.
See, isn't that what I said? Isn't that what I said? They crying about they ain't got the numbers, so they want to bring the robots in. That is a bogus thing to do, man. But I must say, you know, I get my word out, and you know, it is kind of like a therapy, and I'm glad I get a chance, and the people that see me, you know, I'm joyful that they get to see me. Because I am in a position where this don't make or break me. I don't depend on getting paid from this joint. This joint, I only get 2 or 3 checks a year. You know, it's nothing. So it's like it's nothing I depend on. But yet, you know, here I am, and I still bring it. And you know, I am uncompromised. I'm uncompromised, and I think I'm, you know, getting closer and closer to
joining us tonight
to the way these games swing. You know. And you know, no one can deny I've created, you know, almost a new part of because before I really came at YouTube, far as the games being fixed, I've created something new. I've created almost a whole genre of YouTube, basket manipulation and the grip gloves. And so I understand what I put out there and what I've my creativity has created, what my imagination and what my observation has put out there. And other people, it's opened up a lot of other people's eyes and say, yeah, it is. We see this. And I'm glad people can show it better or equal to how I show it. I'm glad, because that just makes it go further and more eyes. And you see, you know, we on their ass, so they start to use words we use, like the cartoon with Peel in it, you know. Well, where are the script writers? Again, they copy into what we saying. That's how much attention this has brought. That they have to try to use our words, our observations, and try to make fun of it because they know we getting right and righter. And it's going to, you know, be like wrestling. They're going to have to admit it. That all these games, I mean, I'm wearing the Michigan stuff, but you know, that they, as I've said about it, you know, I am not ignorant to the fact that you saw they got an advantage tonight. I mean, it wasn't hard to see Michigan was given an advantage from the very beginning of the game with all the holding allowed on both sides of the ball. They were showing the DBs what it was 2 pass interference, something like that. Well, they was holding on like every play. And once you don't get called for holding, you keep holding. And then, you know, Washington gets a little momentum and they call holding on Washington, who really wasn't holding. So there's no illusion. There's no illusion here. But let me say this. I got some bread tonight, y'all. You know this. I got some bread. So there's another thing. Well, I don't need this thing. I got some bread tonight. So I'm feeling good about what they did, and all this shit I saw coming, it happened. You know, that's all. That's all. Vikings over. Matter of fact, I saw something was showing the Vikings already for sale. Tickets for next season. It was like, this ain't the time to sell tickets after they didn't make the playoffs. Why are we buying tickets? So, but next year, yeah, I'm gonna take my daughter and we're gonna get some good seats. We're gonna get some real good seats. And probably my son and his wife or his girl, you know, we'll all get some good seats and go. So
And we're still probably going to see Timberwolves. We've been working on. Oh, you know who's coming here? Ooh, Najee. Najee is coming here. I got to look that up. Oh, yeah, this is what I want to show. But Najee's coming here. We might go down to Dakota and see Naj. You know, nigga be like, wearing that shit, coming in there looking like, a modern day gangster, like kind of clean dressed and classic man. Okay. Yeah, I caught this and I forgot to show this last night. Here we go. Because I think this was last night I saw this and I forgot to show it. But this is more the local debauchery. Check this out. Yeah, this was yesterday and I forgot to show it. Yeah, it's just debauchery. It's debauchery hour. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this after a body was discovered in a garbage bin in a detached garage there. Fox 9's Courtney Godfrey joining us now live in Minneapolis. And Courtney, as I understand it, no one living at the home when this discovery was made, correct?
Yeah, that's right, Randy. The house was actually listed to be sold, so no one was home at the time. In fact, the real estate agent told me today that he had just wrapped up an open house at the home when him and the homeowner made a gruesome discovery. Investigators appeared to dust for fingerprints after a body was found in a garbage bin inside this detached garage in the 700 block of 30th Avenue North.
It's a horrible thing to have happen to anybody, to die and be put into a garbage can. It's just unbelievable. It's hard to think about.
The homeowner, who only wanted to be identified as...
Hey, do y'all remember that movie? What's the movie called? Men. What is it called? Men at Work. And David Keith opens it up and he says, "That's a waste of a perfectly good white boy." The dude is dead in the trash can. David Keith opens it up and he's like, that's a waste of a perfectly good white boy. David Keith, that's some funny shit. But this isn't funny. I'm sorry. But his hairdo is funny. He got the money green leather with his red hair dye.
Says he had recently bought the property as an investment and was selling it after a large remodel project. He says his real estate agent called police yesterday to report a suspicious car parked in the garage. But when he arrived today for an open house, the car was gone. The garbage can left behind. It wasn't until later, when they went out there together to install a lock on the door, that they made the gruesome discovery.
We set the garbage can upright and he moved the plastic and he screamed that there's a dead body in there. And of course I didn't believe him right away. And then I looked and there was a dead body in the garbage can.
Police are now investigating this as a suspicious death, at this time only identifying the...
Oh, man. Hey, I know it's not funny, but like, what? I still don't understand what he like. God damn, there's a nigga up in there, that nigga dead. Or there's a perfectly wasted of a European in there. Okay, it's not funny, but it is kind of funny. Liquid Fire. I may not say a lot, but I've learned a lot. I am grateful for your content, plus your cool ass. Well, thank you, Liquid Fire. That is too kind of you to say. What was that, when the cat's hitting my door? Nobody's coming in here to mess with me. Okay, I'm going to let them finish the story.
Victim as an adult male. As for Bill, he says he's still shaken from what he saw.
My heart goes out to the family, and to hear about this is just devastating to any family, and hope and pray that things go well for them in a very difficult time.
Oh, man, let me tell you, I think I talked about this. Yeah, we, wow, what was it? It was last year or year before. A dude, I think it was something wrong with him, but my mother lives on the 5th floor of her building, and a dude fell out. I don't think he purposely fell out. I think it was something wrong with him, but he fell out the window from the 5th floor, which is, it's quite impossible, really. It takes a lot of effort, and he some kind of way splatted out there, and we saw him out there. Yeah, we saw him out there. Yeah, now he had the money green leather on. He wasn't playing with them. Right now, people don't even hardly wear furs or leather anymore. It's funny. They don't even wear it anymore. I got lamb skin in my closet. That shit is so soft. It is so soft, lamb skin. I think that's how you're supposed to do it. It says, man shot a home intruder with his own gun. Oh, you took the home intruder's gun? Man says he shot a home intruder with his own gun. Okay, let's
Keep it quilted.
I want to understand that story a little more. This is out of person was killed in what police called an attempted. Oh, this is in Indianapolis. Okay, this is in Indianapolis. Okay, let's hear how he did it. How did you do it? How did you kill the intruder with his own gun? Tell us, brother.
That's down at my front door, and I still, like I said, I didn't register, man.
A homeowner on the city's Far East Side wrestled a gun away from a burglar and shot him. Good evening to you at 5 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Nicole Griffin. The homeowner survived the encounter. The intruder did not. Tonight, the Marion County Prosecutor's Office is...
Wait a minute. What kind of hair is this? I mean, what are we looking at here? What kind of style has this brother got going on up here? I like her. I think, I like her overall look, and she's kind of got sharp figures, but okay. But what is this on top of his head? What is? I think his suit is fine, but like his hair gives me pause. Like, what's going on with her? Okay, well, let's go. Tell us.
Is checking out the man's story, a story he is sharing with WRTV's Adam Shooms.
And that homeowner tells me Tuesday night he saw that suspect walk up to his front door, put a ski mask on, and force himself inside the home. Inside the home, the homeowner tells me a struggle began before shots were fired.
He smacked me in the head with the gun and told me I knew what it was. And then I'm like, I yelled out. I said, hey, they're trying to rob me.
More than a dozen bullet holes mark Brent Smith's home on Indy's Far East Side. Signs of what he says was an act to protect himself.
What did he say?
I yelled out. I said, hey, they're trying to rob me. He smacked me in the head with the gun.
Shots were fired.
He smacked me in the head with the gun. Smacked me in the head with the gun. He smacked me in the head with the gun and told me I knew what it was. And then I'm like, I yelled out. I said, hey, they're trying to rob me. Yelled out. I said, hey, they're trying. I yelled out. I said, hey, they're trying to rob me.
More than a dozen bullet holes mark Brent Smith's home on Indy's Far East Side. Signs of what he says was an act to protect himself. Police say it was an attempted home invasion. Smith says the suspect's gun was fired as he was struggling with the masked man.
When the gun went off, I hear thousands of gunshots. So I was trying to get up here to push my door back up, but they kept firing. So the guy, it was his gun. I had his gun, so I opened up my door and was shooting out. But when I opened the door, I didn't even know he was right there, man. I didn't know I shot him, man.
Smith says a group of people then got in a car and sped away.
I didn't know I shot him there, man. I didn't know I shot him, man. You know he was right there, man. I didn't know I shot him, man. I know I shot him, man.
Smith says a group of people then got in a car and sped away.
That don't make no sense, man. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that.
But this is where I go, okay, where am I at? 308. This is like, what kind of door does this dude have that the dude could kick? Man, nobody could kick my door in. Like, you would have to have that thing the cops take. Let's catch the, like, this is all his door. He didn't have no big door. The outdoor screen door was his only door. 3 plus 7 plus 1 plus 5 equals 16. Yeah, I was thinking that too. When I saw that, I was thinking the same thing. That guy must be very stupid and very lucky. Yes. Okay, I was a little further down. Let's let him alone. He popped dude and he was like, man, I didn't even know it's right there. I grabbed the gun. He said he grabbed the gun. He was like, they were shooting at me. So I grabbed his gun.
Here to push my door back up, but they kept firing. So the guy, it was his gun. I had his gun, so I opened up my door and was shooting out. But when I opened the door, I didn't even know he was right there, man. I didn't know I shot him, man.
Smith says a group of people then got in a car and sped away.
That don't make no sense, man. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that.
But in Indiana, people have a right to defend their homes.
What the law says specifically is that I am justified in using reasonable force, including deadly force, if I reasonably believe that that force, meaning deadly force, is necessary to prevent or terminate an unlawful attack on or entry into my dwelling.
Attorney Guy Relford is an attorney and is also
Some states get you if they ain't in your house, but okay, not this state.
a firearms instructor. He isn't connected with this case, but says people like Smith who are in this kind of situation are protected legally.
If you're justified at that time, you have no obligation to retreat. In other words, run away first before you defend yourself. And there's a sort of, and that's what makes it a stand your ground law.
Indiana law doesn't require proof that anyone was scared for their lives or anyone else's inside the property, just proof that someone was trying to break in or commit a crime. Marion County Prosecutor's Office is still reviewing the case, and there has been no information on charges for Smith.
Y'all need to find you something productive
Damn, he ain't crying no more, is he?
to do.
But he's already
He's in charge of his emotions pretty quickly.
made a decision on what to do
Damn, they shot the tire flat. This must be one of his
after
rides.
this life-changing event.
I've been here, man, for about 22 years, man. Like,
Damn, now wait a minute. I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just saying, 22 years. Okay. That's the American dream for you. I can't hate.
Decision on what to do after
I
this
can't hate.
life-changing event.
I've been here, man, for about 22 years, man. Like, man, I'm like my neighbors. Man, I'm ready to move.
In Indianapolis, Adam Schoombs.
Damn, I guess he lost control of his emotions. I'm sorry. That's some shit to happen. Now, it's not funny being shot at. It's definitely not. I've been shot at enough to know that it ain't funny. But some of what he was telling was kind of funny, you know. He was able to control his emotions to a point. That's all. He was able to control his emotions to a point. Yeah, that radon gas. Yeah, that's some shit that can silently kill you. Wow. Dangerous amounts of radon found in half of Minnesota. That is sad. Ooh. Yeah, I remember my old house. Isn't that funny? You know, you build a house and then they say there's pockets of gas that can negatively affect you. And I think it affected some people here, and I want to hear it. How radon affected the peoples.
Radon is the leading cause of lung cancer for non-smokers. State health leaders say about 40% of Minnesota homes have elevated levels. Barrett Leone spoke with a woman fighting lung cancer who hopes her story will help others.
I was told I had lung cancer in my left lung. It had metastasized to my liver and my lymph nodes and my pancreas, and I had a lump on my breast. It was everywhere.
It was stage 4 lung cancer, and Bonnie Mueller was shocked. She was a runner, a non-smoker, and a mom to 3. Because of this, doctors had a suspicion.
They asked if I had ever been exposed to radon, and 10 years ago, I didn't even know what that was. I wasn't even on my radar for something.
Radon is an odor.
I'll say this. No, the radon detectors, I bought my first house in 1988, and we had a radar detector back then. Matter of fact, when I bought my first, probably my third house here, they paid for the radon system. Or they gave me a certain amount off of the radon system because it showed it how elevated radon at that place. So, it's because gas is built up under the homes. So you can get these detectors.
Odorless, colorless, radioactive gas that comes from metal in soil. Because of Minnesota's cold climate and landscape, radon levels are 3 times higher here than the national average.
And the radon at our cabin was off the charts. It was so high.
Now, the scary thing is 2 in 5 homes in Minnesota have dangerously high levels of radon, but only 1 to 2% of Minnesota homes get tested annually.
So the only way to know if it's in your home is to test for it.
It's why state health.
Oh, wow. This is my wife's boss.
Leaders are spreading the message Monday.
I think it's tied to the lack of awareness about lung cancer, the real face of lung cancer.
Protecting yourself and your family with an at-home test only costs $10 to $12 at a hardware store. Something Mueller wishes she knew about sooner.
The devastating effects of
Yeah, this is you can have like permanent radon detectors, and there's ways they can reduce it. So there's ways that they can reduce it. So there's a whole system they can put on your house that releases the radon, that releases it outside of your home. There's a system you can put on your home that will release the radon outside of your home in a safer way. Instead of the radon coming into your home, they can tap into it and they can make it release outside of your home. That's what they can do. It costs about $1,500 to get that done if they find that. So it's just, this is something that should be considered if you're a homeowner. And, depending on what part of the country you live in, you see what they're saying is all the cable lines down there, all the sewer line, that metal over all these years, because remember, our superstructure, our substructures in America has been there over 100 years. I mean, I was talking about that first house I bought. That house was built in the 1880s or 90s. So, I mean, look, like this place I live in, this place is only 3 years old. It's newly built, fairly newly, but it's places that, you might have to move that might be 80, 90 years old. I mean, even if you're buying a house, I mean, the house I bought when we were on Chestnut here, that house was built in the early 90s. And it's still tested high. And we put that system in there and it releases, I think you can run a line up to your roof and it releases it. It monitors it and it releases it if it gets too much pressure that comes into the home. So that's a history thing to give to y'all. Damn, we got a Richard Widmark Museum? I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a Richard Widmark Museum. What did Richard Widmark do to deserve a museum? Let's find out. What did he do to deserve a museum? They barely want to give Dorothy. Dorothy of the Wizard of Oz is from this state. They barely want to give her a museum. And every time they put the ruby red slippers out, somebody's stealing them. Just sell the slippers. But let's see why Richard Widmark. This probably
and worked with several legends on the silver screen.
Ooh.
Now a small museum is making sure his name lives on in the tiny community where he was born.
Joe Mason has the incredible life story of Richard Widmark in this week's So Minnesota.
In the small town of Sunrise, Minnesota, the memory of a big Hollywood star shines on.
So it's quite something.
Thanks to Wade Olson.
Wait a minute. This is this is the museum. Golly. Okay, let's go. Tell us about Richard Widmark.
Here 20 years.
I like the way we used to slap people around.
Widmark Museum.
Welcome. Growing up here and everything, I always heard stories about Richard Widmark, but I was kind of disappointed.
What y'all think he do in there with all this Richard Widmark memorabilia? What do you think he do in there? I'd be scared to go in. You can't charge for nothing like that. This is a hobby.
That the town had never done anything for the guy. This is the only known photograph of Richard in Sunrise, so he was 9 months old at the time.
The day after Christmas in 1914, Widmark was born in Sunrise.
A year after Richard was born is when they moved to Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Widmark's father was a traveling salesman, and the family put down roots in Princeton, Illinois, where Richard grew up. After graduating from college, Richard started working as an actor on Broadway and network radio programs.
You think a squealer can get away from me?
Richard's big break came when he appeared in the 1947 movie Kiss of Death.
That's when his whole life changed.
Oh, my goodness. Kiss of Death. Okay. Dude had a hobby.
Fake crying. Dude had a hobby, and dude turned it into a little hobby room. He had a little hobby room. Richard Widmark Museum. He was bored.
It's a silent killer that could be in your
He
basement.
was born there, man, and get out of here with that. Let's see. I don't think this is. Let me see if this is. Ooh, where's this at? It's our most expensive home. This is the lifestyle of the rich and famous. Let's see what they tell us about this place. I think this is on Minnetonka. Tell us about it.
Minnesota is the home to 1,000 lakes, and it's also the host of some of the most amazing homes with views of the most scenic lakes in the country.
Tell us
There's
about it.
nothing quite like waking up to a morning sunrise and looking over a lake with water as still as glass.
Oh,
A world-class combination of timeless architectural design and craftsmanship,
tell me
this
more.
private sanctuary
What?
offers old-world elegance with
Oh,
modern
elegant.
conveniences. Perched on the highest point of Lake Minnetonka in Deep Haven, Minnesota, this luxury estate was the most expensive home in the state. One of the largest and most talked about homes in Minnesota's Lake Minnetonka, the home even has a name, Bella Vista, a nod to the gorgeous views of Lake Minnetonka found in basically every room. A majestic and welcoming home built for luxury living and entertaining, the sprawling lakeside home was built in 2012 and designed by Escuche Architecture. Built by John Kramer and Sons with interior design by Verve Design Group. Spanning more than 18,000 square feet, with 5 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms on a 1.8-acre waterfront property with 195 feet of lakeshore, the home was built with the finest level of finishings with no detail overlooked.
Ooh.
The house has a great room with a 2-story wall of windows and an entryway, also with 2 stories with inlaid wood flooring.
Damn.
It also has a large chef's kitchen on the main level.
Oh, look at the marble. I couldn't wait to smoke up in here. Ooh.
Throughout the house, the presence of extraordinary architectural and design elements can be seen.
All right, I'm over it. That ain't the biggest house. That ain't the biggest house. There's a house out there bigger than this one, and it's less. This one sold for 14. There's one out there. There's 2 out there bigger than this one. One ain't that bad. That one's about 14. I think they paid for that one. But guys, I'm feeling better. I think the pickleball season's about to start
It's a
indoors.
silent killer.
I think is what's about to happen. I've been walking. I've been walking about every day. So, yeah, healthy lifestyle back, and still, I've cut down on drinking beer, and feeling good. I don't eat a lot of junk. But man, I think I told you guys last night, my brother-in-law and I watched the games and cooked 2 big old steaks, cooked that one for my daughter, me and him shared one, because I'm not really a steak person. I don't really like steak. Steak literally tastes like, unless there's a lot of barbecue sauce on it, it tastes like liver to me. Like all steak tastes like liver. And I was forced to eat liver as a child. Take all my cold medicines at night because the shit makes you sleepy. And I'm not snoofing and snorfing, so it's been lucky so far. My daughter had a little cold, but so far I haven't had one. I've been feeling fine, and feeling fine is good way to feel, And I hope everybody is, on top of whatever you need to be on top of. You ain't got to make no unrealistic goals or nothing like that. Just do what you do. Just do what you do every day, and that's what works. And if you see that's what works for you so far, you hear all this leather's like, let me stand up. I've been sitting down for a couple hours. Let me stand up. Let me see what pants I got on. Okay. Okay. Oh. Just these cheap Russell pants. Okay.
under all these lights gets hot. Smoking weed got me, I got the munchies. And, you know, you have to just do what comes to you. That's all. And whatever you need to manifest, I mean, I'll say, you know, it really is like if you see something, you should be able to have it. I mean, it's really that easy. It's you know, like for a long time, I didn't realize, you know, I was manifesting things. I didn't even realize. And I mean, like on a larger scale, I was able to manifest some things. And I thought it was because of other folks. And all along, it was me. You know, it was like all this was really me. You know, I was putting this shit together. And so it took me a while to like, okay. And all I'm saying is that anyone can do it. It's not just me. It's like anyone can do it. Anyone can manifest what you so desire. You know, and again, it does go within reason, within your means. But by now in the game, you should be old enough to really have whatever you want. That's kind of how it goes. Now, it doesn't need, you know, like me. I'm happy with the car I got. I'm looking at a couple other cars, but again, it's the same kind of car. I might get one of them SHOs. That's what I'm thinking. I like the Tauruses. I love the ride. And those are the kind of cars I love. I love the Ford products. But on the other hand, I miss having a truck. I really do. I like hauling stuff. I like being able to see, if I see something on the side of the road, I can just throw it in my truck. I miss having that. Be like, hey. And that reminds me of a story. This is a true story, and I've told it, and then I'm going to tell it again. To tell you how my sons, when I moved, my sons cost me a lot of money because they collected a lot of junk. And I let them, I made a mistake of putting a living room in in the summertime, I put a living room in my garage because you can park outside. And my sons, you know, they got in the habit of it, and these jokers, I don't even know, like, the only way I can describe this piece of wood that had to weigh, man, that wood, I can't even describe how, but imagine this, a set of stairs going up maybe 6 stairs. The thing had to be this wide, which is, give you an estimate, maybe 3.5 to 4 feet. I mean, the stairs were, you know, it was enough for, you know, maybe 2 people to sit on. The thing had to weigh, this is all wood. And I mean, the wood is this high compared to where I'm sitting. The wood is, it was high as the treadmill. It was high as this. All right. It was high as that. Not quite as long. So this is a heavy piece of wood. This is how, I guess, my sons saw this. They walked to go get it. And every day for like 2 weeks, every day they would walk it so far and just leave it. Then they would go back and get it and walk it so far. Then they would go back and get it and walk it so far. I think they said about 6-7 days. So maybe not quite 2 weeks. To bring junk into that, they don't own nothing. They don't own anything, but they brought this big heavy thing. I mean, that is the, I mean, like that him and his friend had a vision. They had a vision of this stuff. It amazes me. And then like these one people was moving out, they had some junky couches. They was like, yeah, sure, we'll take them. The couches cost me a couple $100 to get rid of. But you know, what can I say? That's what teenagers do. They collect bullshit. And then they move and don't take, you know, it's like children can do that. You know, I can't just leave a bunch of furniture somewhere. They want to charge you for that kind of thing. And you know, this year we're gonna have a lot of I mean, I'm getting these well, I should read some of her I get emails and I get texts, and I want to read one I got. I'm gonna read a text I got, and you can say hello, Shay Whiteys. We just received intel from one of our contacts from Homeland Security. She was not able to speak freely, but she was able to decode the message, which said, "Soon." My contact went back and forth with her once again, and everything in code, but basically there's something major about to happen. If you have been following my aid, I've been telling you for years that you should already be ready. I urge all of you, stack up on anything at this junction that you can get. I want you to focus on anything to keep your home warm from the cold weather, solar generators, solar cooking. Do not buy anything electrical. Well, the generators and the solar is still electrical. You get solar because solar does do electrical. Okay, but anyway, do not buy, which might prove useless and won't work. It has to be solar. Stock up on canned goods, items that last a long time. Keep all your electrical devices charged up. Most importantly, do not talk your business to anyone outside of your immediate who lives with you. Let's send much prayers to the world. We do not know if this is going to impact only a certain demographic or everyone. So I'm just putting that out there. Oh, and then she sent me just a reminder. People laughed at me when I was told to buy a face mask and gas mask. 1 year later, COVID hit. And guess who was prepared? We can't help the naysayers. It's not any of our role to help everyone. Most will not believe at this junction it's come down to you and staying safe for you and your family. So that is what I got, a warning from one of my friend. She gave me some places to where to get supplies. So I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to put that out there. So that's, if you can use that, you use that. Brother Time Lord, drink more from the water from the sacred breath of life. That's a good point. That is a good point. And I guess, I'll take up this last few minutes because I'm going to go. Yeah, it's 3. Okay, that's a good time for me. I went to bed at 2 yesterday, around 3 today. Be cool. I ain't got to do nothing until 1-ish. So, and that ain't much, that ain't much. What I got to do tomorrow ain't much. I live I have fun. I laugh at myself all day. I be in here just laughing and thinking about shit. And I laugh at myself. And if you can't laugh at yourself, and if you don't sleep well, meditate. Meditate will get you the deep healing that you need. Because like days I don't sleep well, I try to meditate for an hour. And I get into, that deep healing that we all need. Because rest and, that white light that they want to take you away with that memory loss stuff, that's what it is. It's blank. That's what they want to turn you into, a blank, And so you got to do all kind of little memory tricks to really strengthen your what you recently have done. That's why I like doing this. This is practice to keep my mind fresh. Keep being able to think of things that's going on right now, being able to talk about things. What I taught my children about telling jokes. I learned that, I've said this many times, I learned in college that I could tell a joke and be thinking about the next joke. Like we talk shit, and I talk shit about my teammates, playing the dozens and shit, ranking as y'all call it. I could tell, I could tell a joke and have 3 more jokes waiting. I'd get done with one joke, they'd laugh and be right on somebody's ass talking shit. And if the next person, I'd have a couple jokes for them. And so this gives me a chance to do that kind of thing, to keep my mind active on what's going on right now. That's why before I came on, it's like, it's like the cloak be putting on shit. It's a little goofy energy. That's why I have the sage, because it's like cloaking is a little goofy energy that can be around. And it can cloak things. I mean, that's just a goofy energy that's around. It's harmless for the most part, but it's like, if you don't play the game and don't have to look at shit, if you keep your shit in the right places all the time, it helps you as you get older because you have habits and you know yourself. I've said that many, many nights I come on here. If you know yourself, you'll never lose anything because you know where you would put it. And so that's really, knowing yourself. That's what that means. Know yourself in every way. I mean, you can't lie to yourself because, it's just you, but, you lying to yourself, well, you're not facing reality now. You know inside what the whole book was, the book of you. Every page. So, and there's more to be written for each of us. Now, I'm not past saying a catastrophic event could happen. Yeah, it could. But before I moved, I threw away. I'm telling you, I could have survived. I threw away probably 30 pounds of beans, if not more, that I had saved up. I had 2 closets full of cans. So if something had happened, and I just threw the beans away a few months ago. I had them stored. I threw half the beans away, so I still probably have 15 pounds of beans. And beans don't spoil. They're not spoiled. Cans. If you're gonna have to survive on eating cans, they tell you right now, there's a lot of stuff in cans that ain't good for you. But as I told you with homeless people, homeless people get a lot of sugary, bad foods. But it does come to the point, do I eat the bad food or do I starve? That's a reality that I see a lot of, elderly people doing it. And believe me, it's a lot of believe me, I'm quantifying. A lot of elderly people that, I've handed out enough food to know it's a lot of elderly people that are really struggling for food. I mean, these food banks ain't a lot of young folks. It'd be mostly old folks. And that's what I would have never guessed. And I mean, these people would line up for this stuff. And, they'd be there every month, And this is not just COVID, this was well before. So that, hunger does exist. Hunger does exist. But I imagine most people watching me, ain't struggling like that. So, I can't tell you. I mean, it's always good, to have a little extra food. It's always better to have a little extra than have less. I think that's just good. It's always good to have extra water. I know we ain't been to Costco, so we ain't been to, we've been just getting the water from Target. And sometimes Target doesn't have the Sam's water. Because Target and Sam's, you can get them cheap, 40 some waters for like, what, $6-7. So, and it's, think about it, and I've said this many, many times, people putting out there talking about, certain states are going to give you sewer water. That's nothing. Everybody gets that. Everybody's sewer is turned into reconditioned water. It don't just go back to the sewer system. It goes back as water. The water you drink is almost probably 100 years old. You turn your sink on right now, and that water's been probably going back through the system over 100 times. Millions of times. Millions, over and over again. I mean, you're literally drinking the same water that was put in the system, 50 years ago. And we talking about just the 70s. These pipes and stuff been there since the 1920s in most cases, in most cities, if not before. So this infrastructure's been here for a long time. And that's why most places they say don't drink the water because, well, they want to make money selling water. But on the other hand, the water has been reconditioned so many times. I mean, at some point, it is probably not great water because it is a product. It's not natural anymore. It's treated, overly treated, over and over again. And I mean, remember what happened to Flint by them not conditioning them pipes. It was that simple. All they had to do was put a condition in all them pipes. They'd have been fine. They had to push this conditioner in them pipes. The pipes could have taken the water they got from the Flint River. They had done the system before. They said, look, we got to push this shit, put it in these older pipes, kind of like in greasing the pipes so they can take this new kind. They didn't do that. And the water was so bad, if they even got on you, it broke you out. Now, if where you live, if you can take a shower and you brush your teeth, you're fine. You just can't have a big glass of water. Now, my brother-in-law has a system that is outstanding. They have really good water where he lives. And so the thing we're facing is we're going to have to put a hole in the marble to put the system in. And kind of like, I guess if we have to do it, we have to do it. So, but that's the reality of what we live in, no doubt. That's the reality of what we live in. Time Lord, drank more from the waters of the sand. Well, I try to do my best. I make my shungite water. I'll leave this. And shungite, I need some more, and I need a glass container. That's what I need to buy. I need to buy a new glass container, order some new shungite from my guy in Russia. Yeah, I need to do that. So, But yeah, I think everyone, you have your hopes. Every year you have your hopes of what you want to accomplish. I mean, it's sad the way they break this up. They think that it's a new when we know, I mean, if you're old enough, this is the end of the cycle. The new comes in the spring, so right now it's hard for us to say this is new when we know everything around us is asleep. So it's nothing can be new when it's asleep. It's not until the spring it wakes up. That's the beginning. The cycle is spring, summer, fall, winter. But they have it mixed up. They want you to think that the year's starting now, where everything is sleep or dead. Again, that's a psyop on you because your common sense is saying there's something else going on here. This can't be the start of the year. It's not even the start of the business year. I mean, we're on another quarter. So. And so this is what we face. But, there's no, I'll say this, there's really no excuse for you to do whatever you're here to do. And that's where distractions do come in, because there are a lot of things to knock you off of what you are supposed to be here to do. It's a lot of, what they say is to knock you off your square. And that's not taking any religion or anything. It's saying, your place on your position. What can get you out of position? You dig? That's what it means. What can get you out of position? And there was a test that just recently happened. Were you mesmerized or not? Because a lot of people out there were mesmerized, not realizing, you're pushing the mesmerization. I mean, that's a spell. A spell was cast, and they didn't a lot of y'all don't understand. The spell was just cast, and a lot of people was cast over it. Again, to me, it was more mesmerized. That to me was the effect of it was more of a mesmerization, but verbal mesmerization. You dig? It was verbally put out there, but it was still meant to mesmerize you, and that's what I saw a lot of people getting. That's the way you push it. We instead of us having to hold hands, you can be mesmerized by everybody talking about it, everybody pushing it out there. And when you see that, you should think, now there's something unnatural about this, of course. And you pushing it and commenting and highlighting it again, you're part of the mesmerization. You being mesmerized, you're pushing out mesmerization because maybe you're showing it to someone who didn't even know about it. So you're pushing the mesmerization out there as well. And that's just kind of how they work. And that's what they hope happens. That's absolutely what they hope happens. And it's funny how important this is. This is important. What we do here is important, and the people that do it. Because we can compete with these pro athletes. I mean, look what they have to do to push their spell out. But yet, we still have the same opportunity. Now, as a young brother said, we may not get in certain algorithms. But see, I think people don't understand. It's like how many ever numbers see you. It's just that the right people see you and that you touch with the right people. And as I said, I don't come on here and ask for anything. If people want to, donate, that's cool. But I don't come on here asking for it. As I've said over and over again, I don't rely on this. All the clothes and all, I do all this. And what comes in, I'm thankful, but I mostly do all this. And it is a challenge sometimes. I mean, the post-production work, my stuff's cloaked earlier, I'm walking back around the house and stuff trying to get together. My wife was like, well, when we get to spend time, because you wake up you stay up most late nights. So, it's all these things to consider that I take my time to do this. And I think I'm in a position, because, it's like all these athletes and these ex-owner entertainers, it's like they're so addictive and they see that this is pushing. They can't have their NFL career, so they want to come over here and do this, which you have every right to do it. You have every right to do it. But so do I. And my aim is, is a pure aim of just giving out the information. Again, I don't talk about the very common things that come because, again, I guess at my age, I can see, I can kind of see the play and I can stay back from it. I'm like, I ain't even got to touch that because I ain't mesmerized by it, so I ain't even got to touch it. And I guess, there's talking points and what happening today. Remember, they changed this what's happening. The new one was what's happening today. But it's like the thing. If you see everybody running one way, you probably want to run the other way. They running after you. Most people want to know, well, why are you running? Like I'm in the Target Center at the high school championships, and people start running from one thing, and my wife's about to get up, and I'm like, where are you running for? I'm not running because they run. I'm not panicking. I want to know what's going on before, so I know what's going on before I follow some people panicking. If you dig. So, what did Brother Macbone say? Pontiac strength is built in the gym. Body fat is cut down and burned through the kitchen of the sacred ball game. Oh yeah, and you breathe. You can when you can breathe, you can really feel because when you burn fat, you breathe it out, and it's like you can feel that. That's one thing. Last summer, I was like, man, I could just feel that. Whatever I'd ate the day before, I could just feel where I'm breathing and sweating it out. So. And indeed, I've just been lazy, but yeah, I've got to get back on this treadmill. My knee passed, so that was my biggest thing. Still got to find out about my shoulder, but it was just strength in my shoulder was the main thing that I was fighting, not playing pickleball with. It's just the strength because putting on shirts and stuff is kind of tough, still because I'm kind of like trying to put on a shirt with one arm, so that's what I need to get together with my arm. And then my balance is crap. It's like if a dude could, I could never pass a drunk driving test if they asked me to do balance. My balance is horrible. It's horrible. I going through therapy and trying to be on one leg. Well, it's better, yeah, but I could never really do that. Not anybody. That wouldn't be a fair judgment to see if I was impaired having me do that kind of thing because I could be like sane. Been up for a few hours and still, my balance is crap. But I'm not bad. I'm not physically bad. Just this drinking thing. I like drinking. I could drink beer like every day. I literally could drink Elliott Ness every day. I could drink probably 4 or 5 every day. But I'm 62 and you just can't drink like that. And so it gets to a point where you got to look at it's not that I'm trying to extend my life, but I think I owe my body. My body has been good to me, really good to me. And so I think I should repay it as appreciating it instead of appreciating my own habit. And, games and everything are triggers to drink. I do have to battle that. Gaming, and my wife was like, you want me to pick up anything before you come home? I should have said a cigar, and I didn't think about that. Should have got a new one. This one up here I've been chewing on for a while. And so it's just, you have to have a little discipline, which, my life has been full of disciplines, no doubt. As I said, having it is you channel that it into something else. Whatever that is you have, you channel that. Like one thing doesn't, you channel it into something else. That's all. And, and I get on, so many, so many times I've tried to buy sports teams and put together sports teams and just be like, one little more thing needs to come into place and boom, something comes up. And that's okay. I tried. It was like each time I tried to do it, I saw where it was just a little easier, a little easier, a little easier. I mean, we even tried to, I was going to put some bread into bringing a pro team. I think it was to Grand Rapids. They was trying to get the team. And all I really did is had to put some bread up. So it was a little easier position, but I was like, okay, I listened to everything and they wasn't able to put it together. It's like, yeah, okay. Because I was seeing how they was moving. I was like, okay. And I'm looking, and it's like, it wasn't put together. It's like, okay. But that's what happens, you get all kind of ideas. Like one time, building furniture, we was gonna get the furniture where you just have to put the furniture together and then sell it, and it's like, you think something simple as that would be easy, and it turned out not to be easy, but it wasn't for lack of trying. Because I think everybody's aim is, to work for themselves, no doubt. Instead of working for somebody else, you want to work for yourself. So, if it's not working today, don't, and even if you got a job, I mean, that's great, but always have other ideas. There's a lot of different ways to make bread. So it's not just one thing. So, and that's where we are, I guess, and I'm gonna say, I guess, I don't know. I don't know if I want to follow that thought or that spell, but I'll just say is all is revealed. All that's another way of saying all is revealed. We say the initiate must have his own fortress of solitude within to actualize and bring out the supernatural and cosmic celestial powers from within himself. Indeed, you do. You do. I mean, my wife comes in here and, she's so comfortable. When I put the inflatable bed in here, my daughter, because my son, they made a bet and she lost the bet. So she lost her room and she saw this big inflatable thing and she's like, oh, and, she's used to being around this energy. She's used to being around. She's comfortable in here. I mean, a lot of people, I don't know if y'all could be comfortable in here. There's a lot going on. My omen table is there. My big shrine is up there. And I don't know, but again, I don't want a lot of people's energy up in here either. You understand? I don't want a lot of people touching this stuff or fucking with this stuff because this is stuff I work with. I mean, I live this every day. Like this stuff I see and I think about, I just, every day. Like the spiritual stuff with me, with crystals every day. It's every day I deal with this. So not just when I come on here and talk about it. It's all of the time. It's constantly. So... And, I asked this stuff to work for me. It's like, hey, work for me. Ooh, I'll give it out. Okay, I get it. I'll give it out. And that's how it should be for everyone. Make this work for you. I like waking up at a certain time. And that's when I'm going to wake up tomorrow. They say you should wake up the same time every day. And I know my wife's got to get up super early. And I got the munchies. I'm gonna go downstairs and eat some shit. So thank you. I think I made some money on this year's game, and I was right the way it's set up. I do thank CWE with the mix of the 91 and that they lost. I forgot about that one. But I still feel confident in saying this was really a tribute to 97 and that Michigan was the better team. I think that's really what it was about, was Michigan really should have gotten both polls and been undisputed champions in 97. And I think, for them alluding to that at the end of the game, that, I was right. And that's what the announcer said that announced the game. They said, well, this, they kept bringing that up. And team won 4-4. So we saw great indications. And again, before they even mentioned the final teams, I said, I don't care who even before that I said it. I said, no matter what, it's going to be Michigan and Washington in the final game. Tribute to 97. And we saw that. I knew Michigan would have no problem with Alabama. And again, hats off to the defensive coordinator. That was an excellent job of changing your scheme against an opponent and not just saying, this is my defense. You got to go out there and do it. He said, no. I've got a different opponent that expects me to blitz, and he didn't blitz. He rushed 4 almost all day. Now, I know that little highlight I showed, but that wasn't what they did all day. They pretty much rushed 4 all day, and they gave him problems. And I'll say, he was allowed to be injured. There was a couple late hits. It was holding the whole game. So that was the indication to me that Michigan was going to win. They wasn't calling hold. They didn't call holding the first half at all, which it should have been called. And Twitter and the other one, they're right. It ain't Twitter anymore, it's X, but the other one, Instagram, they're right and saying it was holding. No doubt. Holding was allowed almost the whole game. But again, to be able to decipher and see and then it come to fruition, don't always work like that. So Pat on my back for checking it out. When one has developed the medicine magic of the Black Jaguar, Panther One will have celestial, mental, and physical abilities surpassing the world's greatest athletes. And I mean, you can be an athlete your whole life. And that's part of being in the spiritual ball game. As I said, you have stress. You want to get rid of stress, go to a ballpark. The energy never leaves. Go to your old gym. Go to your old baseball place where you've played. You want some healing. Again, when they show these sacred ball fields in Mexico, all of them wasn't played ball. Some of them is for grieving. Some of them are set up to grieve. So the ball field can take all that because the energy of the game is always there. The people that played before, it never leaves. The game is continuously being played there. So you can go to one of these parks or your gym or whatever and tap into it and ask it to move or remove, because it can do both, because that energy is there. I mean, do you imagine what happens when I walk into my high school gym, what it does to feed me and what I've left there and the energy I left there and others being able to use that energy that I went to? Because what I've learned is that in cities is this certain prototypes. Most small cities get prototypes, and that one prototype comes through, and hopefully enough people play like him to move ahead. And I know this is true because I can give you a couple prime examples of dudes that was better than anybody, and it ain't just dudes that win the NBA. I talk about, local heroes that I knew that no one was better than them. They came after them. No one was else better. Why? These people grew up with actually less. But yet their skill set was unmatched by anybody else that came after them. But the but is that they touched enough that others was able to get a small piece of that skill set and use it for their own selves. I look at my own cousins as they went through. Each one of them, I got a piece of. As I sit there. Like I think of one dude, this guy, he was the one that really taught me how to shoot. Should have been in the NBA. He was a guard in 1970. Junior year, he's a high school All-American his junior year. His team loses the state championship to River Rouge that had won 6-7 championships in a row. So he didn't lose to no slouches. There's a picture I got of him where he getting pressed. He had never seen a lot of them kind of brothers that came at him. But I single him out because he took time with me. He saw me shooting. He's like, no, don't shoot like that. He said, put it up here. Said, put it up here just like this. Now do it. Like, okay. He's like, do that every time. And he would cut through the backyard. And he had to be like, when I first met him, 8th, 9th, when I was a little boy, 5. He probably was 10 years older than me, easy. Maybe 11. So if I'm 5, he probably 14, 15. But he took the time to say, no, do it here. And then like he saw me practicing one day, he was just cutting through the backyard. He saw me shooting like he taught me. He's like, give me a pass. And I passed it to him and he shot one and hit. But he knew what he showed me. I practiced. And that, I've never forgot that. And that meant a lot to me. We had another dude, the other prototype in Kalamazoo. This dude was the truth. He was so good where dudes wouldn't even catching these passes because they wouldn't be expecting it. So he got in the habit of going to the basket and literally handing it to people. My senior year, we're playing in Battle Creek. I'm driving hard to the baseline. Everybody on me. 2 people come. I hand the ball to Dave. Hand it to him. And I never saw Dave so animated after the game than that. He was so happy because he knew. And me and this cat had played together. We had went to school from 7th grade on. We had played basketball together since 8th grade. 8th grade on. And he knew in his head that I could have taken the shot to win the game, but instead I gave it to him. And he knew it. He knew it that I would give it to him. He knew when the 2 people came to me, he's like, oh, he about to pass it to me. He knew me that well. And sure enough, and he was so happy in the locker room because I let him hit the game-winning shot. And he was waiting for him. And he said, I knew it. I knew you were going to give it to me. And he won the game. So many of you may have been touched by this or someone. Magic
I mean, Magic, like people forget about James Worthy. Like if you saw James Worthy playing high school, you was like, okay, he trying to be Magic. James Worthy freshman year, he running the break like Magic. Magic made the whole world pass. But in Michigan, all of us is all of a sudden, yeah, we breaking people 101, but we looking to pass too. And so Magic, he had the whole country. Him and Larry Bird had the whole country passing the ball. So where everybody got a little bit of what they did. So, and that goes in life. Lessons you learn from watching people, their worth ethic, things that you do that you admire. You see that all around, the way people do things and make their lives work. And I think, myself, how patient I was. I mean, the way the last 6-7 years have gone, how patient I've been. And I'm glad I've been patient. And I'm glad that, things have worked out and I am where I am. Now, it's like at 60 years old, it's like, how do I say this? Maybe I shouldn't, I'll leave that. I'll leave that alone. But at this point in my life, it's joyful, I know joy, I know bliss. The Kundalini has been coming so hard that it's like, whew. And so I don't care what the algorithm of this does. I don't need a lot of people to see this. The people that see it are meant to see it. And if you get something from it, you get it. I don't expect everyone to agree with me, and I'm glad when people can add. Like with CWE, I wasn't saying you was right or wrong. I'm glad you added that, because that was a consideration, definitely. But it's just fun. That's all. It's just fun. Saying, we are the champions, my friend. When you can wear your gear, you wear your gear all year, I noticed a little shop where I get gas, because gas is like 30 cents cheaper. And they got Michigan hats up in there. They had a couple Michigan snapbacks. And I'm like, okay, they tried to make $1 off Michigan. What they know? Get these, you can sell them. They probably bought them for $1, selling them for 10. Well, I think I'm going to end it. And I don't come on Tuesday, so I'll be back on maybe Wednesday, Thursday. We'll see how it goes. But, maybe 4 times a week is probably more realistic for me to come on 4 times a week. I've been kind of wondering if I should go back one day during the day. I like that I get to do what I want, and whoever gets to see me, I'm happy with the results. So this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I've been your host, Big Pontiac. Time Lord Osceola. Hero Twin, definitely Hero Twin. That's why I have so much Twins gear, the Hero Twin. So remember, I'm not a New York rapper or a LA gang banger. I'm just an old school Detroit crack slinger. I make money, so much money. My pockets like sunshine. They are always sunny. This has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. This is your guy, Big Pontiac, coming from the Galactic